Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. And let's start off with a bit of boxing buzz, courtesy of our friends over at FightNews.com. The Tiger Management out of Montreal has signed unbeaten super lightweight Arthur Bayershlanov, 13-0, 11 knockouts, and middleweight Shamil Katiav, 12-0, 3 knockouts. And Shamil, by the way, is the brother of light heavyweight Iman Katiav, who's now 6-0. Let's move along to other. I want to make another quick announcement here about a signing. Samson Boxing has announced the signing of undefeated Brazilian cruiserweight Lucas Pontes de Silva, 7-0, 7 knockouts to their company under promotional contract. Pontes de Silva's father trainer, Ulysses Pereira, previously worked with former WBO lightweight champ Aslino Popo Freitas for more than 2 decades. The WBA Championships Committee has ordered a bout between WBA minimum champion Tamamun Niatrong and current mandatory challenger Hasanboy Duzmatov. And the parties have 30 days to negotiate a deal, and if a deal isn't reached, a purse bid will likely be called. So let's see what happens there. Jumping ahead to women's boxing in another field, shall we say. Boxing champ and great Clarissa Shields will return to MMA on February 24th in the first ever female MMA fight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Powerful stuff. It's also interesting to note that Muhammad Ali's grandson, Biagio Ali Walsh, will make his professional MMA debut on the card as well. Unbeaten super middleweight Julian Vogel, 13-1, 7 knockouts, will headline an April 13th SES show at the Ballhaus Arena in Germany. And also from around the world, let's have a quick look here. IBO super middleweight title holder Osleys Iglesias, 9-0. It's gone up against Marcelo Coceres, 32-6-1, 18 knockouts. And that fight has been added to the Eye of the Tiger March 7 show, which will feature a Quebec versus Ontario headliner, Butler versus Rolls. Be a showdown broadcast on ESPN Plus in the United States. So some good stuff. Let's see what else we got here today. We are looking forward to a Canelo announcement, by the way, but I haven't seen one yet. But a little bit more on that in a second. We do have some results out of Miami. I'd mentioned that there were some fights going on over the Super Bowl weekend, and let's see, we've had some results come in here now. Unbeaten super lightweight Brayan Fonteboa, 4-0 from Hialeah, Florida, crushed Stephen Brabson, 3-8 from Athens, Tennessee, in 53 seconds of the opening round. That took place at the Mikosuki Casino Resort in Miami, Florida, presented by M&R Boxing Promotions. In the co-main event, super lightweight Hebrew Smiley Francois, 2-0 from Winter Haven, Florida, finished off Jameis Hyder, now 0-1, from Spokane Valley, Washington, ending his night at the official time of 1 minute 47 seconds of round number 2 by way of technical knockout. A fight and card that we mentioned last week, taking place over in California. It was a clash of unbeaten super featherweights. Austin Brooks, 12-0, remains unbeaten as he knocked out Jose Izaguirre, 7-1 now, in the 7th round of their boxing that took place on in Long Beach Thunder Studios in California. Brooks took over midway and battered Izaguirre to the canvas on the count, 56 seconds. So good stuff out of California. Also on that card, lightweight Tayden the Butcher Beltran, 8-1, 4 knockouts, had problems with an unconventional Wilmark Canoncico, 12-4-2, but pulled away in an 8-round unanimous decision, and both fighters were deducted a point for punching after the bell. Must have been a good one. Good stuff. Over in England, unbeaten WBC number 4, WBO number 5, WBA number 11, middleweight Hamzah Sheeraz, 19-0, 15 KOs, annihilated WBO number 6, WBC number 8, former world title challenger Liam Williams in the first round of a fight for the WBC silver and Commonwealth belts. Sheeraz dropped Williams twice, and Williams' corner eventually waved in the towel. Time was 2 minutes 36 seconds. Two-time world title challenger and WBA number 4, WBO number 4, WBC number 5, the IBF number 8, light heavyweight Anthony Yarde moves up a notch here. 25-3, by the way. Destroyed Marku Nikolic, 3-2-4 in 3 rounds. Yarde dropped Nikolic twice in round number 2, but the game, Nikolic made it through the round, but the bout was halted after another knockdown in round number 3 at 1 minute 15 seconds. Of note here, I'm sure this will please UK fans, unbeaten lightweight knockout artist Sam Noakes, 13 wins, 13 knockouts, halted Louis Sylvester in round number 4 of a bout for the Commonwealth, British, and WBC international silver titles. Noakes dropped Sylvester twice in round number 3 with a brutal body attack and finished him with another knockdown in round number 4. Time was 2 minutes, 10 seconds of that round. One other British entertaining slugfest. Super featherweight Reese the Bomber Bellotti, 18-5, dethroned previous unbeaten champ Liam Dillon, 13-1-1, on Saturday night at the Indico at the O2 Arena in London. Toe-to-toe action all the way, with Bellotti winning by scores of 117-111, 117-112, and 116-112. Returning after 22 months, former lightweight title challenger Craig Richards stopped Boris Crichton in round number 7. Richards dropped Crichton in round 7, got the stoppage with his follow-up barrage, and the time was 2 minutes 52 seconds of round number 7. And a big shocker in the WBA Bridgerweight eliminator fight we were talking about last week. Saturday night took place at the KRK Arena in Russia. Unbeaten WBA number 2, Evgeny Romanov dropped WBA number 3, Shaixing Zhang, in round number 1 and continued to batter him round number 2 until suddenly, out of nowhere, Zhang floored Romanov face first with a right left combo. Wow. Romanov tried to get up, but was out of it. Zhang moved to 12-2-1, whereas Romanov now falls to 19-1. What a turnaround. Wow. In other action, the WBA number 14 lightweight, Zahar Abdullayev, 19-1, outpointed former WBA super featherweight champ Roger Gutierrez over 10 rounds. So very good stuff out of Russia. So as I mentioned earlier, Canelo Alvarez is expected to make an announcement today sometime, actually. Sorry about that. Yes, and he's been rumored, as we've talked about for many months, whether it's David Benavidez, Jaime Munguia, but it looks like the odds are on Jermall Charlo, and this is a fight that everyone's looking forward to on Cinco de Mayo weekend, right across all Latin American countries, certainly, and especially American Southwest, but around the world as well. I mean, let's see if one of these fighters will be picked who can put up a good fight against Canelo. Canelo's a great fighter, but he does have his accusers out there who's saying he picks and chooses wisely. So anyway, he is the undisputed super middleweight champ. So let's see who he selects. We're expecting that news sometime today. We'll have that for you tomorrow if he does decide. Realistically, will he select Jermall Charlo, avenging brother Jermell? Who knows? Let's have a look. Find out tomorrow. In other UK news, Florian Marku, the Albanian king, will enter a grudge match against Chris Kongo, taking place on March 31st. And interestingly, that the undercard just been announced. Fabio Wardley, a British heavyweight, and what's interesting about this fella is he's a free agent, and very rarely do you get to see someone of his talent going by route of free agency, but he is representing himself, and he's going up against Fraser Clark. So that's going to be a good battle, because I believe Wardley's still undefeated, and if he remains undefeated, he will certainly put himself into the upper echelons of up-and-coming fighters. Let's see if it says what his record is. I don't think it does, but I think the next story does say. But let's look forward to Florian Marku, the Albanian king. He's a great fighter and certainly has his following, as we found out here on Talkin Fight. Fabio Wardley, by the way, he's 17-0, 16 knockouts. Wow. He's unbeaten from Ipswich, and is a reigning British and Commonwealth champion. Also holds a WBO strap, but the title currently allowing him to pursue the most interesting and lucrative options available is the one that can't be worn around his waist. He's a free agent. Let's see. Wardley says, would he like to see other fighters follow his lead and taking the course of a free agent? And he said, I hope so, because it means that we'll get a lot of big fights and the fights that we want to see without all the fuss in the middle. It's something I've chosen to do because I've always wanted to back myself. Some people might not want to take that risk. Others will. Don't get me wrong. I understand the negatives to it. If I lose, I haven't got any safe long-term contract where I can keep money coming in and keep fighting. I have to graft my way back. I'm willing to do that. But I think as long as you've got hard fights at a good level and prove yourself, then people will always have a place for you on their show. They'll always want to see you. Very true. Given his humble beginnings, Wardley's determined to enjoy the circus that the big heavyweight events attract these days. This will be interesting if he does win, whether the Saudis will come forward and offer him some dough to go over to Saudi Arabia. Anyway, he says it has its moments when it's tiring, and sometimes I do want to just focus on the boxing. Also, I appreciate where I am and where I've got to go to. It's a certain amount of time. I'll look back at my life and I think mental, wow, remember that? And not in an arrogant way. Remember when the whole thing was about me and the big fights and the big occasions I was involved in? I do my best to be present and enjoy the moment, as everyone should. Good words. Interesting. Speaking of words, I'll mention this as briefly as possible regarding Shakur Stevenson. See y'all in June. So I guess he's coming out of retirement. Let's go down under for some news on the women's front. On March 23rd at the JBS Basketball Arena in Queensland, Australia, we're going to get to see a fight between a couple of ladies. Sequita Hemingway going up against Che Kenneally. They took to each other last October in Palm Beach, Queensland, for the ANBF Australasian heavyweight title, with Kenneally taking away the victory by a controversial split decision. So I guess this is a bit of a grudge match as well between these two ladies. Last year, Hemingway took the fight against Kenneally on late notice. This time, Hemingway has been given plenty of notice to prepare for the fight, which could deliver quite a different outcome, apparently. On top of this, Hemingway has weight advantage, giving her more sting in her punches. What might be at stake, I imagine, is the winner might be given that title shot against Daniels. I can't remember her first name. Lanny Daniels, is that the name I'm thinking of? Anyway, it'd be interesting to see if one of these ladies is given that shot against the light heavyweight champ, Lanny Daniels. I'm sure. Anyway, I'll leave that up to the matchmakers of the world. But anyway, look forward to that fight. Sequita Hemingway, Che Kenneally for the WBA Oceania heavyweight title, happening March 23rd in Queensland, Australia. Across the pond, not towards Europe, but across the other pond, towards Japan. Let's have a look here. There's some news. The Women's International Boxing Association, that's WIBA, will attempt to fill a vacancy for their world title in the mini flyweight division on March 16th. The division is better known as the minimum weight class with a weight limit of 105 pounds, although it's also known as straw weight by the WBC. Anyway, the WBO and IBF recognize the division as mini flyweight. Getting back to this particular fight on March 16th, Kyung out of South Korea will face Riyuna Yoshikawa of Japan, and the fight will be in Seoul, South Korea. Wow, it's rare we see a fight that we can make an announcement about here on Talkin Fight, but here you have it. The fight will be in Seoul, South Korea, with Kyung rated number 32 in the mini flyweight, contending in the world by the WIBA. She is rated number 14 contender by the computerized ratings of the International Boxing Organization, the IBO. Her opponent from Japan is rated higher and rated by more sanctioning bodies. Riyuna Yoshikawa is rated number 16 by the WIBA. Yoshikawa is rated number 9 by the IBO. She's also rated number 7 by the WBO, and number 9 by the IBF, and number 13 by the WBC. What is interesting of note in this particular story, if we dig a little deeper here, Ryu Kyung-soo has a career not only as a professional boxer, but is also a medical doctor, which is unusual for an active boxer. And this is courtesy of Sue Fox and her team over in womensboxing.com. She is a pediatrician and a neonatal specialist. So she specializes in the medical care of children and newborn infants, and currently works in the neonatal intensive care unit at a hospital which provides care for premature or ill newborn infants. Even though the careers are different, in that a doctor tends to heal, whereas a boxer tends to hurt, she sees similarities between her two occupations. In being a physician and a boxer, she must concentrate and make accurate decisions. Her upcoming fight is promoted by D&D Promotion and Boxing Management. All her fights, except for her pro debut on YouTube channel called Boxing Management, which is, I believe, under Boxing M-KBM. 5 of her 7 wins, by the way, were from technical knockout. She won the vacant South Korean light flyweight title last year against Chan Mi Lim by technical knockout in the 8th round, and her record is 7-0-1. Wow, very good indeed, and a great story to end off our episode today. Glad you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, please. And we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, for another episode of Boxing News Today with me.